Hey, good morning. Welcome to San Diego. Took me about half an hour just to get to the freeway, and I only live 2 miles away from the freeway. So this is the light traffic. I'm sure probably I'd say about 2 or 3 miles from now we're gonna hit like a dead traffic where you're just gonna go from 0 to 5 miles per hour. So yeah, this is San Diego. I think it's Freeway Interstate 5. Yeah, Interstate 5. So I'm on my way to Balboa Hospital, Naval Balboa Hospital, just to find out the results. Apparently the results are in from all the lab work that they did a couple weeks ago. So we're going to discuss exactly what's wrong with me, what exactly happened. I don't know if you guys know, about 2 weeks ago, February, the first week of February, I was hospitalized because I was taking my wife to the emergency room because she was like, oh, I think I got the flu. So I took her to the hospital. But since I was there, I was like, hey, let me sign up too, you know? So we both went to the emergency room. She ended up having the flu and I ended up having pneumonia, right? So of course, you know, they're gonna give you those pills, antibiotics and all that. 5 days later, I had to go back to the emergency room because my tongue swollen up in my mouth where it was blocking my airway. So back to the emergency room, they were trying to figure out what was wrong. They wanted to say it's the medication, but the doctors were arguing, how could it be the medication if he's been taking the medication for 5 days and then all of a sudden he's allergic to the medication? That makes zero sense, right? So what happened is they kept me there for I think 3 days. The first day they wouldn't let me eat. I think they had to make sure, you know, nothing was in my stomach, because if it's swollen up, they had to shove a tube down my throat. And if they shove that tube down my throat, they can't have like a reflex effect, and you know, where I would like throw up or something, because then I would choke on those. So after 24 hours of fasting, these guys, it's called the allergic department, you know, to see if you're allergic to something or whatever, and they couldn't figure out what's wrong. So they called the infectious disease department, right? They came in there and they're like, hey, we're gonna have to take some more samples and we're gonna take it out of the state. Oh, here we go, check it out. Here's that traffic I was telling you about, where we're gonna go from 0 to 5 miles per hour, and we're gonna be doing this for the next mile. So this traffic that you're seeing, this is all military traffic right here, this section, because I don't know if you could see it, but towards the left is the naval base, right? So before I retired from the military, what I used to do to avoid traffic is I rode a motorcycle. I had 2 different motorcycles. I had a Ninja, right? Kawasaki Ninja sports bike, boom, really fast. And then I had a Harley. I still have the Harley. The Ninja I sold after I retired. So I would use the motorcycle because in California you're allowed to split lanes, especially during traffic, right? So I would literally get to work in less than 10 minutes from my house. In a vehicle, it would take you about maybe 20 to 30 minutes to get to work, just because, you know, the traffic. I mean, look how slow I'm going. Yeah, there's a bus in front of me, but it doesn't matter whether I go to left lane or the right lane, it's still traffic. Okay, plus I need this 3rd lane because on the 4th lane to my right, that's going to be my next exit in a couple, I would say in about 5 miles. So there's no reason to zigzag over this stupid traffic. And you'll see, like in front of me, see, you see how oh, you can't see it, huh? God, sometimes I wish I had like a GoPro, but I don't really have any camera. I just use my iPhone to go live. Yeah, definitely. San Diego, overpopulated. LA, way overpopulated. So, but San Diego traffic is kind of weird because, you know, we have like, it's a military town, so we have we have like a lot of ships here. So when people get stationed here, of course they got to move their family and all that. So we're pretty diverse on the road. And everyone that's outside of California that moves into California thinks California driver sucks, right? Because back home, we didn't have to put up with traffic. That's true. But back home, your population was probably 8,000. Shit, there's 8,000 just in my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? That's how overpopulated we are in San Diego. We're probably more in the millions just because, you know, we host military. We have Navy, we have a Marine base, we have a little bit of Army and Air Force, but they're just minority compared to the Navy and Marines. So of course you're going to get overpopulated. And then of course you're going to have your local residents, you know, that grew up here in San Diego, that loves the weather, doesn't want to move out, you know, because mommy and daddy lives here. And who really wants to move out of San Diego? I mean, this is our winter right here. You could see how sunny it is, while other people are, you know, miserable in the snow. They're cold. But here, our winter is probably like the last week. We've been having cold spell, and we've been going like maybe 40 degrees at the coldest. So yeah, when it comes to San Diego, I got it down packed. Okay, so if you count the lane from left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? During traffic, you never go to the number 1 lane, the very left lane. You never go there, because everybody fights for that lane, and once they all get to that lane, they don't realize that they just brake checked themselves, and now there's a long line. Number 2 lane is actually the perfect lane to go to, right? Because the car that goes in front of you, he's actually just trying to get to the number 1 lane, or he's trying to get to the number 3 lane. So you're gonna have a little pause. Number 3 lane, like I'm in right now, I'm in the number 3 lane. It's all right. It could be better, but it's more for people like me that I know that my exit's coming up, right? And so I'm just gonna stay here, kind of suck it up a little bit, you know, do an extra, what, 5-10 minutes of my time just being on the 3rd lane. And then the number 4 lane is basically, you know, I don't know why people use the number 4 lane. That's your exit lane, right? Because your exit's coming up, boom, number 4 lane. But some people will ride that shit for miles, which makes no sense to me, because you know people are merging, right? So why don't you just wait to go to the number 4 lane maybe a mile before your exit? That way the number 4 lane is clear. But no one thinks like that. Back home, that's how they do it, you know? But like I said, back home, our population was maybe, growing up, was maybe 2,000 or 3,000 in my town, at most, right? But we had like 2 lanes, and everybody drove in the left lane, unless you were about to exit, then you go to the right lane. That's how we did it. And that's how we kept the traffic flowing in such a small town. So you didn't have to worry about exiting, merging, things like that. Because once you see a guy going to the right lane, you knew he was about to exit. So you see how I said the number 4 lane is the exit lane? Look at it, everyone starts to exit on the... But you'll get people that just ride the number 4 lane for miles and miles and miles, and it kind of sucks because there's people that's coming onto the freeway that has to merge, and they're kind of like, you know, cut each other off, things like that, and then you got that road rage and all that. I'm a true believer. Keep the number 4 lane open until you're ready to exit. That's why I'm on the number 3 lane, because I know my exit's coming up. But San Diego traffic makes it look longer. So I wish I could grab the camera and show you where the naval base is, but it's to my left. If I go in a dead stop, I'll grab my camera and I'll show you. But yeah, the naval base is hold on. I don't want to grab my camera and then like jack it all up, because it's sitting on like a magnet. But I'm kind of good. It's kind of flowing and everything like that. Yeah. Whew. Wouldn't you know it, there's an AT&T van right in front of me. If you guys don't follow my Good Morning vlog, we actually had issues with AT&T. AT&T and DirecTV. Woo! Those two companies. Apparently, one bought the other. I don't know if AT&T bought DirecTV, whatever. But those two merging together is like the worst package you could ever get. Especially here in San Diego. Very unprofessional, one. So that's a local issue, right? But nationwide issue, they don't really have that technology, the fiber optics and all that. They don't have it, because when we were testing out the AT&T, when they installed it, the internet speed was fucking hella slow. It would take me about an hour and a half to upload a video, where right now I'm using Cox. It only takes me about, at the most, at the busiest time on YouTube and all that, maybe 20 minutes. But the average time it normally takes me to upload a video in normal time, when it's not so busy on YouTube, it would take me like maybe less than 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Because YouTube is crazy, because sometimes, especially on the weekends, you have to be careful on the weekends, because it gets like jammed. Like, people are uploading, everybody uploads. But the key to that is have your video ready before the weekend and have it uploaded, scheduled, right? And then boom, it's on there, right? And that's normally what I do. I edit Monday through Friday, try to edit the videos Monday through Friday. And by Friday, I already have the videos set up for my weekend. Yeah, so that's how you do it. I don't even know how we went off track from my appointment to uploading on YouTube, but yeah, that's me rambling on apparently. Yeah, so I don't know how much I'm allowed to record once I get through the gate on the Navy base, so maybe I should just shut it off. Sorry I haven't read the comments. I know I see it popping, but I don't want to focus on my phone. Somehow I visualized, because I'm a little I visualized that it was going to take me an hour and a half to get to Balboa Hospital, because it's probably like 15 miles from where I live. In San Diego traffic, that's far, you know what I mean? It's probably going to take you like an hour. Like I said, it took me half an hour to go just from my house to the freeway, and it's only 2 miles away. You see what I'm saying? And it took me half an hour just to go 2 miles. So that tells you how crazy San Diego traffic can be, right? But right now, it seems pretty cool. It's flowing, right? I'm only going 40 miles per hour, even though the speed limit's 65 on the freeway. But hey, I can't complain. I'd rather be moving than doing that stop and go that San Diego is known for. Yeah, if you just Google, you type in San Diego traffic, you could see bumper to bumper traffic. Yeah. You know what trips me out is You know those city buses, those city transit buses? A few years ago, I guess apparently they're allowed to go on the freeway now. That trips me out because normally you always see city buses just driving in the city, taking the back roads, you know, having bus stops. Now they hit up the freeway just to get to their next destination stop, which is kind of crazy, but you know, that's not my call, but I just find it amusing that they do that. Yell out the window, do you know who I am? Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, San Diego's got some crazy road rage. I mean, I've seen people like honk at each other, and they have like honking wars. Like, really? It's like, and then I don't know how you get an accident going from 0 to 5 miles per hour. We would be going bumper to bumper, and somehow people have figured out how to crash into each other going less than 5 miles per hour. How they do that, I don't know. Maybe they're tailgating, riding someone's ass, or cutting into a lane that you know damn well there's no room, right? You know? So, I don't know. I mean, I wish I could knock on wood because, you know, karma's a bitch, and I just talk shit about those people. So I'm afraid that might happen to me. But, yeah, normally I leave plenty of room. Plenty of room where, like, maybe like a Fiat might fit between me and that green van. But nothing else, you know. Yeah, people just here in San Diego, they just don't think, they don't realize, like I get it, you're running late, but if you're running late, just be late. You know what I mean? You're already late. So that's my thing. And the other thing too is, not only are you like jeopardizing your life, right? You're also jeopardizing the other vehicles. Whoever's the passenger in that vehicle, you're also, you know, jeopardizing their lives, and they don't get that. And it's like when they get in an accident, it's like instead of saying like, oh, I'm sorry, oh my god, I can't believe I fucked up, they'll blame it like, well, you should have let me in that traffic. And that's just like crazy people. It's like, so you were willing to kill another family because you wanted that lane. You know what I'm saying? That makes zero sense to me. I would rather give this lane, like if this car had his blinker on and he really wants this lane, I'd let him through. Why not? It's just probably gonna set me back, what, another minute or two? But like I said, my appointment's at 9 and it's already 8:12, and I'm only maybe, there's my sign, I'm only half a mile away from my exit. You see what I'm getting? So I'll be a little early, but like I said, I was assuming it was gonna take me an hour to get to my exit. So yeah, I'm trying to get off. I'm about to get off that B Street Pershing Drive. Ooh, I should probably get in soon, because that exit, I think, okay, there you go. I think I got room. Let me get in there. Come on, buddy. Get through. Get through. There you go. Boom. Switched to a lane and didn't even cut anyone off. That's how you do it, folks. Yeah. Yeah. You see how I stay on number 3 lane? Now I'm in number 4 lane. Boom. I'm about to get off the exit. And that's how you do it. I'll definitely be early in my appointment, which is kind of good because I really don't know where their office is at. So it'll give me time to walk around. I'm thinking they have more palm trees. Yeah. You know what? We do. It's so weird that you said about the palm tree. California is really not known for palm trees, but they get that thing shipped over here, and apparently need to get in there. Need to get off this exit. Yeah, so we get palm trees. This is the downtown area right here. If you look in the overpass right in front of me, there used to be a tents, like homeless people. The homeless people would put up tents, and that's where they would sleep. They've been pushing them to the right, away from the downtown district. Yeah, we're having really issues with homeless. Especially a lot of veterans go homeless a lot here in San Diego. I think it's a mental thing. You know, coming back from the war, man, some people just don't come back the same. And it's so sad because I actually witnessed that thing in front of me where one of my sailors, you know, we come back from a deployment and I could tell he's deteriorating because he just, you know, he just can't get rid of the nightmares, you know. And that's really where all that shit comes, is when it's quiet. You know, when it gets very quiet, like if the house is quiet or you're taking a nap, no one's around, that's when the nightmare starts coming, you know what I mean? Like for me, I kind of, you know, I'm not saying I have PTSD. Oh, hell no. Too manly for that. But I do understand what they're going through, because sometimes when the house gets quiet, that shit starts to creep up. But what I do is I go for walks. That way I can hear cars, I can hear buses, you know what I mean? I can hear people talking in Spanish because I live in a Spanish town. I do all that just to get the noise back, you know? I hang out with my kids, you know, when they're not in school, and they're always like talking, yelling and all that. That gets the noise going. That's how you cure it. So if you have a friend that like probably has like PTSD or something like that, best thing to do is just talk. Go, I wouldn't say go in a loud environment, but go in an environment that has, you know, sound, like a good sound, like maybe like a coffee shop where people are just conversating, so the noise just kind of interrupts their silence. That's what I normally do, because I know a lot of my retired friends, they're going through that kind of drama in their life, especially after you retire. Because when you retire, it's just the weirdest feeling, because, you know, you go from this high and mighty, you're in charge of so many people's lives, things like that. You know, you kind of, you know, at some, depending on what you do, you know, you kind of have control of like who lives and who dies kind of bullshit. But yeah, so then when you retire, all that shit stops, all of it, you know what I'm saying? Like literally, you're just an ordinary civilian. But like for me, I'm kind of happy because I'm a civilian that gets paid. I literally, like my wife always says, my only entire job, right, from now till death is to stay alive. That's my only only job. And I thought it was like, this is the easiest shit ever. And then here I am going to a medical appointment today. You know what I mean? I've been in emergency room twice in February, and my only job is to stay alive, and I can't even get that right. So I don't know if